Over the past 75 years, more than 10,000 chemicals have entered our food supply, but the EU allows just 300 additives. At Thrive Market, we prioritize quality, banning over 1,000 ingredients found in conventional grocery stores. Our Healthy Swap scanner helps you find better versions of your pantry essentials without the junk, dyes, or fillers, and everything is delivered right to your doorstep. So shop at a grocery store that actually cares about your health at thrivemarket.com/get started for 30% off your first order and a free $60 gift.
Welcome to Florida, and there is snow on the ground. There's snow on the pavement.
Let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
Can't even tell driving away from the grass.
There's snow on the palm trees.
The windshield wipers almost didn't break the snow with the windshield hot.
There's snow on the cars. It's Snowmageddon.
Here we are in Houston with the snow coming down. We're already above what we had back in 2021.
Let it snow.
And it's not even heavy and wet. It's fluffy.
Your Morning Blitz begins now.
It's fluffy. Fluffy snow in the south.
It's funny, isn't it? When people who aren't used to snow get it and they don't know what to do.
I saw somebody say they were walking through Austin and they said the entire little part of the town was shut down. You just wanted to get a coffee. And literally, you could see most of the street. There was a dusting of snow, but it wasn't anything. I get that, I can't make fun of it because they aren't prepared for stuff like that, I guess. But still, I'm like, how prepared do you have to be?
I mean,
to walk to work, to get to work when really nothing happened.
Yeah. No, it's so foreign to them. Yeah. They're like, what is it? Oh no. What do we do?
They shut down the airports in Houston last night. Shut them completely down. There are no flights leaving Bush Intercontinental or their other airport there. Yeah, they're paralyzed.
Well, I tell you what, that temperature's paralyzing out there. We are at -6 right now. We are 6 below zero. Kelly, those bugs got to be dead, damn it.
Yeah, I was just out of curiosity, Googled how long does it take for a tick to die out in the cold. And according to the AI overview, ticks can die if the temperature is below 10 degrees for several days, which we've reached.
Yep.
They say you can kill ticks. Just throw them in a bag and put them in your freezer. 24 hours later, they should be dead. That's according to AI. So, and then the first article I see is ticks don't die when it's cold outside.
Especially the females, right?
Oh, that's the AI overview. Let's see.
They're robust.
Where is this?
They're cold-blooded. That's what it is. They have a cold heart, those female ticks.
Female ticks are particularly robust and can survive cold temperatures until they can lay their eggs in the spring. That is dastardly.
Well, it looks like this is the worst of it, this -6, because tonight's low will be 11. So we'll be double digits above zero.
Oof, that'll be nice.
Yeah, it's going to be like a heat wave. And then this weekend we start getting up into the 30s, upper 30s toward 40 next week. So, I don't know if the Arctic stuff is over, but it looks better at least for this weekend. So it'll be, tolerable to walk outside, whatever. This negative stuff, man, it's just like, it's terrible. You can't do anything. Warmed the car up this morning, and I've seen this before, that you don't have to warm your car up. All the cold weather across, everybody gets out, they warm their car up. And I was reading a story that old-fashioned carburetor engines had to warm up or they could stall, but unless you've got one of those old cars, you don't need to do that because, the carburetors were phased out. Now we have fuel injection. And it says those warm up really fast, like 5 seconds, according to AAA. Fuel-injected cars will warm up in 5 seconds.
Tell that to my car heater.
Well, yes. The motor, whatever it's warm enough to drive is fine, but that doesn't help me in the car.
Right.
I'm not warming up my car because it's good for the car. I'm warming up the car because
right.
it's a comfortable drive to work at that point.
It's a purely selfish activity. We don't care about the engine. We care about our own warmth.
And so I keep reading, and it says, the only reason to let newer cars warm up is for comfort. If you need to crank the heater and let the windows defrost, go for it. Well, that was the reason I've always done
it. Kind of sounds like they're crap talking us.
I know.
For warming up our car.
It says, other than that, it just wastes gas. Well, I will waste the gas for the comfort. Okay? It's negative. I mean, my windshield was so iced over, and if I don't let that warm up, now I'm scraping the windshield at -6 degrees.
Can I ask, because I have seen pictures of your beautiful garage when you decorate it for Halloween.
Yeah.
Why do you not park in the garage? Isn't it, you have a 2-car garage, right?
Yes.
You can't fit your car in the garage?
No, it won't. The boat's in the way.
Oh, your boat's in there.
I'm leaving my boat out in this crap.
Oh, I thought you parked it somewhere. You had a boat, like you rented a place.
I used to take it to a storage
That's
unit.
what
The
I
old
thought you
boat.
did.
The old
Okay.
boat. The new boat, no, stays home. I just made that decision. I'm not taking
I got you.
that.
Okay. That's a great explanation.
Yeah. So no, the truck suffers.
And
for the boat.
And you let your wife probably use the other part of
yes,
it.
absolutely.
Oh, aren't you the best?
So, yeah, I know I don't have to warm up the truck for the benefit of the truck. I do it for the benefit of myself. So.
Now, can I ask people what they're doing with their dogs in this weather? Because Charlie had Moses out yesterday for a few minutes, maybe 15 minutes or so, which was a lot in that cold, but he needed to poop, right? So we have to, we got to hang in there till the dog poops. Anyway, Charlie touched his ears to see how cold they got, and Moses yelped.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how cold it was. So we're like, oh gosh, that's way too long then. An old neighbor of mine took her dog to Home Depot to walk around just to get some exercise yesterday.
Okay. All right.
We've taken ours to Tractor Supply, but we do not want to wear out our welcome there.
Right. Yeah, I get it.
So where are you taking your dogs indoor just to walk around?
That's a good question.
Yeah. Does anybody have any great suggestions? Home Depot's a great option.
Okay.
And it's huge in there, so
Right.
you can get some mileage, and not look suspicious. But then again, people are like, you're going to bring your dog everywhere. But this is for a special purpose, to get the dog a little bit of walking time. So if you know of a great place that really welcomes dogs that I could maybe get some good walking in today, let me know. Like PetSmart. I was thinking, should I just go over to PetSmart? It's huge over there at Easton. Enormous. I can walk up and down the aisles. We can look at fish for a while.
Yeah.
Things like that. So text your suggestions at 99700. What are you doing with your dogs in this freezing cold weather?
Mike said, good morning to all. Monday's temperature was ouch. Tuesday's temperature was F this S. And today's temperature is someone is getting punched in the face.
Yeah, no kidding.
Weather brought to you by Double Bird Productions.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we got there. All right. We announced Jet yesterday. Jet is coming to Kimba Live Saturday, June 7th with Band of Skulls. So we will have tickets to that show coming up. We'll give those away just after 8 o'clock. Right now, Morning Blitz Trivia. $25 to waterbeds and stuff if you're the first one to text in the correct answer at 99700. The annual Gallup poll asking what is the most trusted profession in the United States said it was this. What is the most trusted profession in the U.S.? Be the first one to tell us at 99700 and score the gift card. Beastie Boys on the Morning Blitz, 623. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick, and Kelly Trashman Dave said Rural King welcomes dogs. At least they used to.
Yeah, we got a text here that says, I highly recommend Rural King to walk your pet. Variety of items to look at and free popcorn and coffee. Where is the nearest Rural King? Because we just have Tractor Supply where I am. We don't have a Rural King in Johnstown.
Mm-hmm.
So
I know there's one around Plain City. That's the only one I've been to. I know there's one down, getting near Circleville, somewhere down in that area.
Yes, those are kind of a couple of long hikes for me.
I will say the pet area, the pet supply and toys and food and all that for pets.
Yes.
At Rural King is massive.
At where?
Rural King.
Where?
Rural King.
It is so hard to say Rural King.
It is. I always hated that word, rural. Can I just say out in the country, King?
Okay, we have Marysville, we have Circleville, we have Heath. Oh, Heath. That's close to me.
Oh, there you
Semi,
go. Yeah.
sort of.
Yeah, Marysville's the one
25
where I go.
minutes away.
Okay. All right.
Let's
We'll
see
try that.
here. Nice. That's what I'll do. All right, great. Thanks for the recommendations.
Yes. All right. Lisa Runcer said, you may not need to warm up the car, but my ass needs to be warm. Heated seats forever. Oh, fancy. I don't have heated seats. Damn. Maybe I need those. Do you?
Yes, I have heated seats.
No.
What, are you living in the 20th century?
Again, I don't ever want to hear a word about my chandelier again.
Oh,
ever.
my gosh. My butt is warm every single... And that thing heats up fast. The heated seats, they work pretty quickly.
All right.
If nothing else, my buns are really toasty.
All right, listen, I made a prediction. I wrote a prediction down.
Okay.
And it's how I think you're going to react to something coming up later in the show.
Is your prediction mad? Is that the prediction?
I'm just going to leave it right there. And when we get to it,
angry,
and after you react
off,
to it, this will
salty.
This will be coming up later. But I just want to see if I'm right. That's
I feel
why
like when you're presenting it that way, it's obviously going to tick me off. So I'm already mad.
Well, I didn't say it was going to tick you off. It's just a prediction. I didn't say anything.
I don't think you're ever going to predict me being happy.
Well, I
predict you're going to be so happy.
Again, it's just how I think you will react.
Yeah, I know.
All right. Well, that's later. We'll just see. I'm just curious.
I'm not kidding. I'm already mad.
You don't need to be. You don't need to be mad. It's not that big a deal. Okay. Morning Blitz trivia. We asked, what is the most trusted profession in the country? And it is for the 24th year in a row, Kelly.
Okay.
What do you think?
I think it's a nurse.
Yes, absolutely.
Is it?
Yeah, well, 24 years in a row.
I trust a nurse with anything.
Really?
It's iffy with a doctor because sometimes doctors are freaking amazing with great bedside manners. Sometimes they are like... They seem like they can't be bothered.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm intruding on their time when I've made an appointment and I'm paying for it.
Well,
so it's iffy. But a nurse, I've never been treated poorly by a lovely nurse. Or who are the people who take you back and weigh you and do your blood pressure? That person.
Those aren't nurses?
No. Those are the
doctor's assistant?
A tech or something.
Okay.
I've never been treated poorly.
No.
In that situation.
Well, it's funny, the separation between nurse and doctor. After nurse, the nurse is number 1, grade school teachers number 2, military officers number 3, pharmacists are number 4.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then doctors at number 5. Very, very bottom, lobbyists. Least trusted profession. Then federal politicians.
Okay.
Members of Congress, Senate.
Those two are connected at the hip right there.
And then TV reporters.
Are not trusted?
Yeah, that bottom 3. That's third from the bottom.
I'd say panelists. I don't trust TV panelists. But an actual reporter on the scene, I trust that person.
I wonder if that's, if that was the option you were given as TV reporter, maybe they just think anybody doing...
Like media. Yeah, okay.
That was bottom 3. The bottom 5 I was doing. Then advertising practitioners, and then used car salesmen. Now, but very close... And the bottom 20% are, we had the federal politicians. Then you have state office holders and local office holders, along with newspaper reporters and lawyers. Oh, and nursing home operators are in there too. These are the bottom, least trusted professions in the country. And that was always amazing to me because we don't trust any politicians, federal, local, and state. If you look at this, we do not trust them. But yet when elections roll around... Everybody's going to argue over defending these people and supporting these people and, disowning family and friends over these people that none of us trust, obviously. It's crazy to me.
Well, I guess it comes down to you've got a choice and you have to pick someone who more aligns with how you feel, and that's what we've got.
I know.
And I don't know that there's a better option out there.
Well.
Although, really quickly... I listened to, was it, I forget, it was maybe an audiobook by Malcolm Gladwell. And he said that, I don't know if you're familiar with his work, but he's a very interesting person. And he said that he did a study with some high school kids where instead of having the kids run for student body president, they just threw names in a hat and picked one out. So there was no campaigning.
Oh,
there was no just the most popular kid gets the role because he's gregarious or she's like able to, sweet talk people or whatever it is. Right. That they pulled a random person out of a hat. and that it worked really well for bringing out leadership qualities in people who would never tend to run for office or run for a position on student council. They're not popular enough. They're not confident enough. But it really brought out leadership qualities in people. And I thought, should we elect presidents that way?
My
Just throw names into a hat?
Oh, man.
I mean, you have to reach some level of competence before your name can go in the hat.
Right.
However, it's not just going to, involve the people who are glad-handing politicians.
Yeah.
It's going to be normal people who know normal people things. I don't know. I thought it was a really interesting sort of premise to put out there.
You know what I've always said, there's 350 million people in this country, and look at the options we're given.
Yeah, the options
there's brilliant minds out there.
The options are not that. The options are people who are money hungry and have the personality to go swim in a Shark Tank.
Yeah.
That is it. And anybody who is not that is not qualified to be a politician in this country.
I always said the best actors win elections. All right, got to say congratulations to Justin Arrowwood from Waverly. He was the first one to text in the correct answer. He knew Kelly because he's married to a nurse. So congratulations to Justin.
Very nice.
You got your $25 to waterbeds and stuff.
It's the Morning Blitz.
And now it's time for I've Got Something.
Let's see if these dummies have anything worthwhile for us.
All right. Oh, I said, where did my text go? I wanted to read this text, and now I can't find it. Apparently a lot of you are driving around with heated seats, Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, I think any car made past, 2010 has them.
Well, you don't even have to do that. Jeff Smith's got a 2017. He's got heated front seats. He says, game changer thick. He says, but you can buy a heated cushion for your seat that plugs into... the cigarette lighter type thing.
Yeah.
He said, check Amazon. So I could still have heated seats without buying a new vehicle.
I tell you, it really is nice.
Okay.
I mean, it's just a tiny little luxury.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Mercedes where they're heating up your cup of coffee. Have you seen those? I know. Or BMWs or Mercedes, they have a little coffee heater place where you can put your coffee cup.
I mean, come on, man.
Oh, I want that so bad. I want it so bad.
Robert from Mansfield. My buns are nice and toasty right now on my way home from work with my heated seats.
It is one of those key luxuries that it's just a small, tiny thing. And I'm trying to think of what other things that I would absolutely love in my vehicle, like a coffee cup warmer. Keep my coffee warm, please, car. I would love that. Just those little tiny things. Some good lumbar support. How can a girl get some good lumbar support?
What you got over there?
Oh, well, let's see. Let's go back to Billy Ray Cyrus's performance at the Liberty Ball on Monday night, which concerned a ton of fans. He says the mishap is all just part of rock and roll. So he was basically kind of losing it a little bit. First of all, he sounded weird, but he blames the whole mishap on technical difficulties. He said basically his guitar seemed to be unconnected to any type of amp. He was basically at the end saying, do you guys want me to sing more or you want me to just get the hell off the stage?
Yeah, here's that audio.
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna I can't no more.
Oh.
Y'all can put your hands together now like that. If you're encouraged about, keep going. They told me to kill as much time as possible, so does anybody know the words to Achy Breaky Heart while I'm here? I'll try a little bit. Let's see what happens. Hey, is my guitar still on? I think they cut me off.
I hope so.
Yeah, so I don't know. The guy sounds like he's about 10 minutes from having to get a voice box installed. That's how destroyed his throat sounds,
Oh, I know.
It's really weird.
Yeah, he said I was there for the people and they had a blast.
It did sound like they were having a good time, but posters on X described it as, quote, possibly the cringiest few minutes in entertainment history.
Yeah, legitimately concerning.
Another labeled it, quote, a crime.
A crime. Yeah, I was reading here, sad to see Billy so messed up at the Liberty Ball. Another one said, this is an epic disaster. Watching Billy Ray Cyrus was heartbreaking.
Oh.
So some people are worried about it.
Would you say it was achy, breaky, heartbreaking? Billy Ray Cyrus said to People magazine yesterday, I wouldn't have missed the honor of playing this event, whether my microphone, guitar, and monitors worked or not. I was there because President Donald J. Trump invited me. I had a ball at the Liberty Ball last night, and I've learned through all these years, when the producer says you're on, you go entertain the folks, even if the equipment goes to hell. I was there for the people, and we had a blast. That's called rock and roll.
Okay, Billy.
Is that what it's called, Billy Ray?
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, Billy Ray. I kind of like the guy, despite.
I know.
All right, that's what I got. What do you got?
I do love his song, Some Gave All.
Okay.
I think it's a great song. A great message. All right, so after TikTok, was briefly shut down over the past weekend here in the U.S., Chrissy Teigen proposed a social media curfew, Kelly. A social media curfew, and this is what she had to say.
I personally think that one day there will be the most incredible rule. My first rule would be, I think the government or some kind of ethics committee, somebody should shut off social media between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m.
I mean, it does sound like...
Leave it all up. Everyone gets to do anything they want, but only between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m.
You'd fit right in China, really, Chrissy. You would fit right in China. Because they really love their people and the internet. So it does sound like you might be a better fit to be governed by the People's Republic of China. That's what it sounds like to me.
So you're not in agreement?
Some type of ethics... What?
The government or some type of ethics committee.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, so you would have to get all your TikTok in by 6 p.m., Kelly.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. I'm off TikTok now. Ugh.
What?
Yeah, I don't. It's not really feeding me the way it was before they shut it down.
Damn.
Yeah.
So my prediction said Kelly will be triggered by Chrissy Teigen.
Hey, there you go. I wasn't really triggered. I just had a good suggestion for her.
I thought sure you'd be like, who the hell are you telling me this?
I mean, it does sound like she would have fit in the Cultural Revolution in China. That's what it sounds like to me. It's you were born in the wrong place at the wrong time, Chrissy. You sound like you'd be really, yeah. That could have been your time. Yeah. But yeah. Do you feel like I'm triggered? Maybe a little triggered.
I don't.
I'm annoyed.
I think you're making fun of her.
Yeah.
Which I think she deserves it.
I'm just saying they do that already in China. They control things like that. So there is a place for you if that's what you need in your life. You and John Legend can take your gorgeous little children and see what it's like over in China.
Okay, I think you're a little triggered. Well, I'm with you though. I mean, it's like so she thinks that we should do it this way. So you're gonna make a rule for the whole country because that's what you think, Chrissy. I mean, she's so annoying. I'm sorry, but she is.
That's how she makes her money. She likes to mouth off on social media. That's the Chrissy Teigen we've all come to know and love, I guess.
Meanwhile, her kids are up at 2 a.m. looking at TikTok videos in their bed. I guarantee it. Molly Crew on the Morning Blitz. It is 6:51. Good morning, Kelly Quinn and Thick Rick. And we got a text from Mike Funk here. He said, while reading the backside of my edibles, he went up to Michigan to get these. He said, I realized that they can't spell in Michigan. Look at the spelling of marijuana. And he showed it, the bottle you get at the dispensary with the label on it. And twice, in two different places, it spells marijuana, M-A-R-I-H-U-A-N-A, which is marijuana.
Yeah, isn't that like the Spanish, Mexican spelling?
I didn't know that. Now, I would have thought, if the other one, if there had been one with a J and one with an H, that it was a typo, but it's twice on there.
Purpose.
So, yeah, it was on purpose.
Okay, so I know why. I looked it up.
Okay.
Because I was curious about it. Michigan does use the H spelling of marijuana. Apparently, there's a very long history of how to spell marijuana in the United States. And back in 1937, Michigan chose the spelling with an H for their Marijuana Tax Act of 1937.
Marijuana Tax Act?
Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 in Michigan. And so when Michigan, all the way up to today's age, adopted its definition of marijuana in the Public Health Code for medical and, what do you call it? Recreational use. They decided to go with that H spelling that came from the Marijuana Tax Act of 1937. So they're using that spelling, and in order to change the spelling of marijuana on that packaging in Michigan, it will take an act of the Michigan legislature. They have to take up legislature and lawmaking time to change the spelling.
But you said this was 1937.
The Marijuana Tax Act of 1937.
Was it legal then?
I don't think so.
How's there a tax?
I don't know.
I'm so confused.
It says the importation, cultivation, possession, and or distribution of marijuana was regulated back in 1937 in Michigan.
Wow.
Yeah, so I guess it was must have been legal back then to possess, distribute.
Wow. Had no idea. You know what the real easy spelling is?
Weed.
Right.
W-E-E-D. All right. Well, there you go, Mike. That's the issue. They didn't misspell it. What?
Oh, nothing. This little Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 is a little complicated, so I don't think we really explained it right. But that's okay. It's boring, too, so who cares? They still spell it marijuana, though, in Michigan.
Three things you need to know before you go.
Power is back on for most AEP Ohio customers this morning after a number of outages were reported last evening. More than 16,000 customers in Northwest Columbus without electricity for several hours. My friend was at Starbucks in Dublin on Bridge Street, and she sent me a picture of herself sitting at Starbucks in the dark. She's like, the power went out, but they're not making us leave. Yeah, I guess it was out for several hours for people. Were you out?
No. My wife showed me the map of the outages and said, I just want to forewarn you, this could hit us, I suppose. I'm like, oh man, I don't need that. We had ours the other day. Remember, we're done.
Frigid temperatures slowed down repairs as well. Now, they haven't said what caused the outage, but can you imagine having to go out there and work in that weather to bring people back online? I mean, that is whatever you're making, you deserve it.
I know. And there's people working in this crap every day, and I just feel for you. I hope you're being sufficiently, paid, like you were talking about.
Much of the South facing snow, ice, and brutally cold temperatures. In some places, breaking snowfall records more than a century old. In Louisiana, a blizzard warning yesterday was a first, according to a National Weather Service meteorologist. In New Orleans, where snow is very rare, more than 8 inches of snow fell. Now, that would grind us to a halt.
Yeah,
so we cannot poke fun at that. They really got hit.
I mean, New Orleans is like, cold down there is 50. 50 will ruin their day in New Orleans.
They got 8 inches of snow in New Orleans. It broke a record that was set in 1895. So pretty wild. At least 30 million people still under snowstorm warnings through this morning from Texas into Georgia and Virginia. At least 2 deaths that could be weather related have been reported in Texas. Almost every flight scheduled this morning out of both Bush Intercontinental and Hobby airports in Houston have been canceled, but it does look like they have scheduled flights to take off as you ease into the late morning and early afternoon, so that should get up and running again. Netflix subscription prices are going up. Now, they are boning everyone from the ad-supported people all the way up to your premium subs. Plans without ads increasing by $2.50 to $17.99 per month. What are you offering us that's worth $18 a month? Please tell me. And that's not even the most expensive. If you have the premium tier with 4 simultaneous streams, you are going to be paying $25 a month.
What is that? Well, you have what?
It's a premium tier with 4 simultaneous streams.
Oh, so like my kids could use it.
Yes.
And, okay.
Yeah. I think within the same house, though, right? They don't allow you to share passwords outside your own home.
Oh, I thought that's what that was for when they added that.
Nope. It's for your own household, and you can have 4 different streams going at the same time. So you have 8 kids, Thick, and not all 10 of you want to watch the same thing.
That's BS. You're charging more if it's in the same house.
I'm assuming that's what it is. I think that, if you and your family want to watch different things, you got to pay for the screens. Ad supported, which I get. It's $6, $6.99, I guess.
Yeah, you know what?
It's going up to $7.99. And let me tell you a really, really good thing about ad-supported Netflix, okay? Nobody wants to watch ads. I get it. I'm telling you, most of these ad breaks are 15 seconds long. It's nothing. It is not like Hulu, where you're at least 2 minutes.
Yeah, Paramount's like a minute and a half every break.
Now,
and
sometimes you'll get a 60-second ad break, but it's not that often. In my experience, I'm getting mostly 15-second ad breaks.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. So, save yourself the money and get the ad-supported Netflix. Anyway, those are your 3 things.
I'm about to get rid of ad-supported on Paramount and pay for it because I hate them. Yeah, I'm so spoiled by everything else, I can't stand the commercials on Paramount.
No, it is really
But it's
annoying.
only $5 a month with those commercials.
Yep.
So, all right, coming up, Kelly, when Charlie gets sick, if he gets a cold or the flu, whatever, is he cool, or does he expect you to take care of him? Is he like very needy?
No, he's not needy. I mean, I'd like to take care of him because I actually love him.
Right, well, of course.
But he doesn't he's not a baby about it.
Yeah, he doesn't turn into a big baby?
No,
okay,
not at all. No. But I have known people who are basically what they experience has got to be a million times worse than whatever it was you had.
Right.
Like, we both had COVID, right?
Yeah.
But yours was way worse, I guess. But no, Charlie is not like that at all. Thank goodness.
Yeah, you go ahead and text in now. Does your partner turn into the biggest baby on earth when they're sick?
How about, is it just men, or is it men and women turning into babies? Are you gender specific here?
This is not, but please, by all means, do that, because I've seen it in the toughest men alive.
I feel like Heather is not a baby. I feel like she's not a baby.
Oh no, she's not at all.
Yeah.
No. And neither
Are
am
you
I.
a baby?
No, I don't want to burden her. I'm fine.
Okay.
I'll take care of myself.
I'm not a baby at all, but I also do like a little sympathy. I like some sympathy. I'm not going to beg for it.
Yeah, I'll give you
okay?
sympathy. I'll leave you alone so you can sleep and whatever. You don't have to do anything. Just go.
Yeah, but you'll come up and you like, I like Charlie. Okay, when I had COVID and I was really sick with COVID, he came up and checked on me all the time. Now, this was back when you had to isolate, right? We didn't know what COVID
you're talking
was.
about COVID, yeah.
And we thought we were all
yeah.
going to die from it.
Right.
And a lot of people did die from it. I was isolated in our guest bedroom, and he FaceTimed me all the time. He was like, what do you need? What can I get you? He would set bone broth outside the door so that I could have something really nutritious because I wasn't eating because I was really sick. I mean, it was the sweetest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Lincoln Park on the Morning Blitz, 7:09. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick, talking about people who say their partner acts like a complete baby when they're sick. A third of couples, Kelly, say their partner acts like a baby. Includes acting stubborn, acting very dramatic, where you have to do everything, cook for them, clean up after them, cover their household tasks, run errands for them, wait on them hand and foot. And some people kind of get really out of it when they get the flu. And I have been so sick where my head's really cloudy.
Yeah, 103 degree fever, you'll be a little out of it.
But I'm reading here things like they forgot to pick the kids up at school. They forgot why they left the house. They forgot their name. They put their shoes in the refrigerator.
Okay, well, this person needs to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
They don't need to be running around picking up kids.
They went into work on a day off. How can you're that sick? Why are you going into work?
Yeah, that's not being a baby. That's being the opposite.
Yeah,
of a
you're
baby,
out of
being
it.
stubborn.
You really are out. Well, you're out of it. I mean, you have to be. You put your shoes in the refrigerator.
Evelyn says, I wish
straight.
my hubby would be a baby when he's sick. He powers through to the point it requires an urgent care visit. Makes me crazy. So Evelyn's husband is somebody who would power through like that and put his shoes in the freezer because he's so sick.
You know, I know you and I, we've been working here together a long time. When we get sick, we take medicine and come in.
Yes.
You know, now that you get shamed for doing that ever since COVID, and I'm like, whatever. I mean, I know. I don't want to give it to other people. That's the biggest thing. But at the same time...
Yeah, I don't want to make somebody else have to do my work. That's the main reason I come in. Because truly, if it was like a rule that if you came into work, you'd be docked a day's pay if you were sick.
Yeah.
Like, I'd stay home. I want to stay home.
Right.
But I don't want to foist my job upon unsuspecting people at work that day because I'm sick.
Yeah, because I mean, if I wake up in the morning, there's only one person we can call, and that's Ronnie.
Yeah.
So Ronnie's probably just gone to bed when I'm getting up, and now I got to call her and say, "Hey, you got to go in."
Yeah, that's true. You have to come in. I can't do this. Whatever you're doing over there with all the buttons and the slides and all that.
All right, Bo said, yes, I'm a baby. My wife, no, not at all. And Peggy said, being a baby while sick is definitely a man thing. Bo backed that up. And then Dustin said, I'm an absolute baby when I'm sick. And I do think it is more of a man thing. And it's funny to me because it's always like the most badass, toughest alpha males on the planet that turn into the absolute biggest babies when they get sick.
Maybe it's their only time in life where they can let go of the wheel and let somebody else drive.
You think?
They're like, I've been commanding this ship for long enough. I'm sick and somebody needs to take care of me. Susie, this is so funny. Susie says, when my husband has a cold, he says, I know you've experienced childbirth 3 times, but you have never experienced a man cold.
What?
She says that he might as well be on his deathbed anytime he gets the sniffles.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
I do, and I don't think there's anything wrong with needing and feeling like, oh, I just feel so bad. Can you just bring me some soup or something? Like, I don't feel like that's being a baby. That's being somebody who could use a little care in the moment. Really.
Yeah. I guess it depends on how sick you are.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, man,
to me, like, my husband does everything for me all the time. Like, this man takes care of business every single day. If he has a cold and I can make him a bowl of soup and fluff up his pillow and scratch his back or something, I'm doing it.
He's not trying to demand that of
He's
you.
not,
No,
ever.
No,
he's not.
He's not being a baby about it. That's because you want, that's just you wanting to, nurture or whatever.
Yeah, but I also want it. Like, I love it. I love being taken care of when I'm sick.
Oh, everybody loves to be taken care of anytime. AC/DC on the Morning Blitz, 724. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick. It is 6 below zero currently, at least here on the west side of Grandview, Ohio. Trash Man Dave texted in and said, my truck showed 14 below between Fredericktown and Belleville early this morning. And Robert says, my car says -10 here in Mansfield. So Kelly and I asked, what did you have your thermostat set at last night with these, sub-zero temperatures?
Yeah, Thick's at 73. I'm at 71. Let's see. Brian Wolf said we usually keep ours at 65, but right now it's set to 70.
Yeah, we got a lot of like anywhere from 65 to 68. A lot of those. That's a little cooler than I like it. And that was the thing. We got a text that says, y'all got money to burn. I'm at 68, baby. And it's like, well, actually, because a lot of people will keep that up and their furnace is just running constantly. Mm-hmm. But ours died a few years ago, so we had to get a new HVAC system, and it's much more efficient now because the one we had was there when we moved in. It was much older. So that, plus I got new windows from Window Nation in 23. So that heat stays in my house real well. So it's not constantly running. It just stays in there. So that works out good. So, yeah,
you're right. Whoever texted that in. Thick does have money to burn.
No, that wasn't. It's not like, when your HVAC system dies, you don't have much choice.
That's right.
You've got to get it replaced.
Yeah, I mean, right.
So, yeah, Roger's at 70. Like, Kelly, you and I are the only ones over 70, it sounds like.
It's so crazy. Somebody texted in 65 degrees year-round. We've got 67. Mike from 7up says 65.
Sean's at 62.
Jeremy's at 65. We've got a lot of 65s. You guys like it chilly.
Yeah, my son's the same way, man. They keep it's like an icebox in their house.
Sean says 62. How are you not freezing cold all the time?
What's that like when you get out of the shower?
All right, now do we believe Tim? Tim says, I still haven't turned my furnace on. My place is 44 degrees.
Oh,
now,
no
Tim,
way.
I really find that hard to believe. Like, you would get hypothermia as you stepped out of the shower.
Wow.
I mean, 44, if you're wet and you're in 44 degrees, like, that is not good for your body, my man. Are you being serious here? Are you just trying to, like...
Well, yeah, because if, when I'm fishing, if the water temperature is 50 or below, I keep my life vest on. Because I feel like if I fell in that cold of water,
freeze up.
I would struggle mightily, especially wearing heavy clothes and stuff, But 44, dude, come on.
Jason says you needed an energy-efficient HVAC to keep all them chandeliers warm, he said.
Oh, my gosh.
I love that, Jason. That's too funny.
Oh, Angie said hers has been broken for 2 weeks.
Angie.
What are you doing?
But is it a matter of there just being nobody to be able to come and get it? Because there's like everybody's on emergency call right now. Anybody whose heaters or furnace is broken, like you're having to pay those like premium prices in the middle of winter.
Right. Angie,
and so you're just waiting it out, Angie? Is that what you're doing? I don't know.
Funny, Angie also texted in earlier about being a baby when you're sick. She said, I am such a big baby when I'm sick that he will yell at me and I will call my mom at 3 a.m. and tell her he is yelling at me. I am the worst, she said.
Well, you might feel better if you have some heat going in your house, Angie.
My gosh.
Rose says currently sitting at 72 because I'm a freeze baby. I am too, Rose. I don't like being freezing cold.
I don't either.
Matt says 80 degrees.
There you go, Matt.
All right.
Yes. Now, Tim texted back in. He said, my apartment isn't efficient, so it's a lot cheaper. But you keep it at 44? I mean, you have to have some heat of some sort.
Susie says, I believe we keep ours around 71 or 72, but with our pellet stove running full blast, we got close to 80 degrees overnight. Oh, that sounds toasty.
Yeah, John Grigsby, 76 to 78. I like it. I like it. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be 70 at least, right? I don't know, man. I guess I don't know. I must be different or something. That just sounds cold to me.
Yeah, you're different because you like to be comfortable.
Yeah, it's the same reason I warm my truck up in the morning.
I don't know. You see those people who wear shorts year round. They just love being chilly, I guess.
That's my son. Yep. He's probably, if he was going to the store today, he'd have a coat on and a shirt, but he'd have shorts on. It's crazy to me. Metallica on the Morning Blitz. It is 7:40. That's Kelly Quinn. I'm Dick Rick. 6 below zero. Big fun. Big fun. It's going to start to warm up, though. Finally. This weekend. We'll be up in the highs of the 30s, and that'll be much better than it is now. Kid Rock was having himself quite a weekend in Washington, D.C.
Oh, yeah?
He performed, did an inauguration performance Sunday night, for Trump's inauguration party. And he made a comment. He said that Secret Service would not let him use strippers during his performance.
Okay.
Well, Trump got wind of that, so he called him up to see if it was true. And Kid Rock said he was surprised because, Trump had a lot on his plate. He would think that he wouldn't have called, but he did call. And Kid
This
said...
urgent business?
Yeah. Kid said, Trump asked him, he said, did the Secret Service really tell you can't use strippers? And Kid Rock said, no, sir, I was just joking around. And Trump said, oh, that's funny. That was it. That was the end of that. So that was on Sunday. But then Monday, after he had done his, performance, he was all done working. So he could he said he could kick back and relax. And he was interviewed Monday morning by a BBC news reporter named Catriona Perry. And he flustered her. He appeared on camera. He had a black stocking cap on and large black sunglasses. And he could only hear the reporter. He could not see her. He had no video that he could look at. He's just listening to the interview. They had him on video, though. They could see him, but he could not see them. He could just hear them. And toward the end of their exchange, he said he was done working for the day so he can celebrate. And then he asked the reporter, Catriona Perry, this.
What about you? What are you doing? Where are you at?
Well, I'm standing on a rooftop in these very, very chilly conditions. I will be on air for 11 or 12 hours, so I don't think I'll have anywhere near as fun a day as you have planned for yourself there. That sounds like you got the better deal here, indeed.
All right, what are you thinking so far?
Nothing. I have no idea. I'm not thinking anything.
Okay.
What should I be thinking?
All right, we'll just see.
I mean, I can't see you right now, so I don't know what you look like.
Now,
I look like I'm ready to hit.
Now what are you thinking?
I don't know what you're going for here. I'm confused.
I just want to see. All right, it's okay.
Well, I look like I'm ready to hit the slopes, I can tell you. I'm in full-on ski gear here with my hat, gloves, the whole thing, ready to rock, because you got to be wrapped up against the elements, don't you?
I love to go skiing. I love to go skiing. You sound sexy. You want to go with me?
Now what are you thinking? Is it cringe yet?
Yeah, I guess.
Well, we won't get into that right here. So we're doing no skiing today. We've got a day of broadcasting to do. But Kid Rock, thank you so much for joining us here on BBC News. Enjoy your day.
God bless.
God bless.
He tips his coffee cup to her and says, God bless. And I'm like, so I could see him. I don't know how well she could see him because she was back away. But I felt like he was just messing with her just because he was kind of like smirking and stuff, like seeing if he could get her flustered. I don't think he really meant it. But if he did, it was very cringe.
Super cringe. Like that, it just annoys me that you take that type of a liberty with a professional person. Like she's trying to do a job there.
Exactly.
She's a professional human being.
Exactly.
And you're being kind of like, maybe just being yourself. I don't know. He's just like kind of really doubling down on his, like, I don't know, his persona or something.
Right.
It is annoying. I had the similar kind of experience with Gene Simmons, who is just a certain character.
Yeah.
That's who he is, and was being gross toward me during an interview. He can't see me.
Right.
I can't see him. It's over the phone. But he's just trying to be his Gene Simmons self. It annoyed me because I'm uptight. And I feel the same way toward Kid Rock in this situation. It makes me uptight to put somebody on the spot and make them uncomfortable while they're trying to do their job. I don't like that.
I remember we had a story a few years back. Gene Simmons was in person being interviewed, was there for a while at Fox News, was like on the morning, whatever their morning show is. And after he left, yes, all the women complained and were furious about the way they were treated by him.
He's weird.
So
I'm sorry to say it. Gene Simmons is weird. Kid Rock, I think he just threw something out there. He was probably trying to be charming and it came off weird. I don't hate him for it. Who cares? But also it's like, all right, man.
What's funny?
This is a reporter. She's trying to do a job on TV, and now you've made it weird.
But it's fun, yeah. And her pause and her reaction, and she was like,
"I love to go skiing. You sound sexy. You want to go with me?"
Well, we won't get into that. Right?
I mean, you hit the pause, and then it's like she was trying to figure out how to respond and get out of it.
Yeah, because it's awkward. You just made her uncomfortable. I mean, maybe you didn't mean to, but that is kind of a weird thing to say during a TV interview, honestly. Right. It's like, remember when Joe Namath kissed that reporter? Was it Joe Namath?
I want to kiss you.
You know, it's like, all right, buddy. Like, Doug Rogers says, Thick, you sound sexy. What are you wearing?
What? Jeez. I think I have that. The Joe Namath.
Yeah, that's okay. It's just from time immemorial, female reporters have had to put up with this, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not trying to make a federal case out of it. I don't think Kid Rock was trying to be a douche, but it came off weird, so that's okay. It happens. I've sounded weird in my life 1,000,000 times. I've said wrong, awkward things 100 times this week, I'm sure. So.
Prevail on the Morning Blitz, 7:50. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick. Kelly is a huge fan of Bill Burr.
Yes.
And Bill, has less than no respect for his father. And he has made that statement before. And apparently there was something to do with he and Billy Corgan possibly having the same dad. And here's a clip from back in November. We played this back in November of Billy Corgan talking about that.
My stepmother said to me, Bill Burr might be one of the children that your father sired in his days on being a traveling musician.
He was a piece of
with you.
And he had two kids this close together, and he named them the same
name. He thinks it's different because he's Billy and I'm Bill. Like, that's how we told the difference.
Okay, so now you're hearing Billy Corgan and Bill Burr together because Howie Mandell had Bill Burr on his podcast. This was yesterday. And Howie blindsided Bill Burr.
Supposedly.
Well, that's the way they said it. So I don't know. It's hard. I don't know. Parts of it you feel that way, and other parts you don't. But anyway,
yeah.
So Howie Mandel all of a sudden brings Billy Corgan on the show with Bill Burr, and apparently, according to Bill, he says they never met before. And so Howie brings him on because he wants to find out what the deal is. And here's how that went.
I got something special that I planned for you. Out of a place
I'm already
of
uncomfortable.
Bring in the surprise, and look who's here.
Oh, hey, what's up? You're an
Billy Corgan. I thought this would be great to bring a family together.
He didn't tell you. He told me you were totally cool with me coming.
That's what he does.
I thought it would be a good surprise.
Can this be edited out?
I can go. I mean,
No, I'll do it. Did you ever think the fact that I never told that story that, maybe you shouldn't?
So you think it was a setup? Or, that we are being set up?
I mean, I honestly think that Howie Mandel wouldn't be that big of a jerk to spring something on Bill Burr that he would not have wanted.
Really?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that works that way. You don't do that to a buddy. You don't blindside a buddy with an awkward conversation. I'm assuming they're all in the comedy world. I'm assuming they're friendly with each other. And, Billy Corgan appeared to have a very good nature about him. He wasn't really nervous around Bill Burr. He was
Not at all.
Okay, well, I'll leave if you want me to. It seemed fairly friendly, but also Bill Burr did seem annoyed. Why would you spread this thing around that you think that we're half brothers, and why would you bring this stuff up about my past and then I have to deal with that, and I never responded to it, so what are you doing here? I think he may have been addressing a real issue that annoyed him, but I don't think he was blindsided.
All right, well,
I don't think buddies do that to each other.
Here's some more. Funny. Bill Burr starts joking around like Billy is his brother.
All right, so I'm not upset with you then, because I thought that this was your idea.
No, he totally set me up.
You've done well for yourself. I'm happy for you. Why did you feel the need to do that?
He told me you were cool
You're
with
a
me.
Cubs fan? That tracks. Are we going to go play catch? We're both in our 50s.
My arm is still good. I gotta say.
Do you like wrestling?
What kind of wrestling? The WWE. I love that.
I own the NWA, which is the oldest wrestling organization in the world.
All right, I respect that. At some point, we will hang out. I don't think on a podcast. All right, what are you doing after this? You want to hang out after this?
Well, I'm a vegan. That's probably a problem, I'm going to guess. You strike me as someone who likes red meat.
Well, I can have a cup of coffee while you eat your Brussels sprouts.
That's hilarious. I don't know.
I think Bill Burr handled himself really well. If it was a surprise and it was, he was blindsided by Billy Corgan coming onto the podcast, I think they both handled themselves really well, and I think Howie Mandel looks like a jerk, if that's the case.
Right. Yeah, that's how I felt about it. But, Howie's kind of odd like that. I can see him doing something like that.
I don't know much about him. I just, Bill Burr's the biggest comedian right now, and has been for quite a while, and I don't think you treat a powerful person in your world of comedy like crap. I don't think you do that. So I do think that he probably got his okay in some way.
Well, maybe Howie just really honestly thought this will be interesting and fun and cool and
maybe.
So do you?
I'm cynical. I don't feel like you do that to people. I wouldn't do it to you. I wouldn't bring somebody in and embarrass you like that. I'd never do that. We're friends.
Yeah, and if this was, if they were co-hosts, then that would be really weird. But you never believed they were really brothers. When we did this back in November.
Obviously, no. I don't think the timing works out. No.
Oh, okay. Timeline's not good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know. I just thought it was really interesting. Bill Burr genuinely seemed to be upset.
How about side by side? They did kind of look alike.
Kelly, my God, yes. They really do.
There were a lot of similarities. And I do think Billy Corgan seems super chill.
Yeah.
And Bill Burr's not that chill, really, in real life.
Yeah.
Or at least the way he portrays it on his podcast.
Yeah, Corgan's always been that way.
Yeah.
He's just always been really super cool like this.
But they do have a sort of a similar look.
do. They look like brothers.
And now, the 3 things you need to know before you go.
The national champion Buckeyes are back in Columbus, and a huge celebration is being planned for this weekend. Details still being worked out, but for now we know it will happen at noon on Sunday. The event will be free. Parking will be free. But if you can't wait that long to see Will Howard and Jack Sawyer, they will be working the counter and the drive-through at Raising Cane's on Olentangy River Road today from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Oh, my
They'll be there with Brutus. They'll be serving food and celebrating with fans. And also the National Championship Trophy is making the rounds. It'll be on display at the Kroger on Sycamore Trace in Plain City from 4 to 7 this afternoon. And then it'll be set up at other Kroger stores in Columbus and Westerville for tomorrow. So you'll be able to see it in person.
Okay, I'm feeling like now that you said that, within the next hour, there's going to be a line 2 hours long at Cane's.
I guess.
There's no way I'm going to get in there in that hour.
Well...
It's not. No way. No way.
Okay. John Husted, now officially one of 2 U.S. senators from Ohio. Vice President J.D. Vance administered the oath of office for Husted during a ceremony at the U.S. Capitol yesterday. Governor DeWine appointed the former lieutenant governor to the position to fill the seat vacated by Vance. Husted will serve in the role until a special election is held in November of 2026. DeWine will now need to appoint a new lieutenant governor to serve through the end of the year. A Maine Coon cat named Mittens racked up some frequent flyer points this month when her cage was overlooked in a plane cargo hold, and she made 3 trips in 24 hours between New Zealand and Australia. The 8-year-old cat was booked for one-way travel with her family from Christchurch, New Zealand, to their home in Melbourne, Australia. This happened January 13th. It's a 7.5-hour flight. But Mittens' owner, Margot Nias, said that she waited for Mittens to be unloaded from the freight area. She was like, it was going a 1 hour, no cat, 2 hour waiting, no cat. After the 3rd hour, she was like, can somebody please tell me where my cat is? I've been waiting here. And the ground staff said, that plane's on its way back to New Zealand. Like, your cat must still be on the plane because it was never unloaded. So Margot's freaking out about her cat. The crew in Australia was able to radio the pilot of the flight going back to New Zealand, who then turned on the heat in the cargo hold to keep Mittens comfortable while she was making the trip back to New Zealand. And then I guess once the Mittens landed back in New Zealand, a pet moving company met her there. Apparently somebody had stowed a wheelchair right in front of Mittens' cage, and the baggage handler didn't see her. So she got back on the next flight to Melbourne. So this cat is on flights for 22 and a half hours of the day and made it safely back to Melbourne. Now, the interesting thing to me is in the article, it said Mittens had lost some weight, but was otherwise unharmed. Like, we're losing weight in 24 hours? What do you want, Ozempic, Mittens? What are we doing here? But I guess when you weigh 7 pounds and you don't eat for 24 hours, it maybe takes a chunk out of you.
Oh, excuse me. I am Mittens, world traveler.
Poor baby. Poor baby. Anyway, Air New Zealand refunded the family for misadventures, and those are your 3 things.
Architects on the Morning Blitz 810. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick, Kelly Fatberg. What exactly was in the Fatberg? These things in the sewer. It was like just this ball of
just whatever you wash down the sink or flush down the toilet that's like fatty, and it all coagulates together and forms an iceberg made of fat.
Yeah, right. Okay, so these mysterious balls washing up on the shore in Sydney, Australia last week, forced several beaches to close. These big balls, they were found to contain saturated fatty acids, E. coli, fecal bacteria, you know. So that's what it sounded like. I was like, that sounds like the Fatberg, doesn't it?
Yeah, and they're turning Fatbergs into perfume in Britain, so...
Oh.
I don't know.
That's right. I forgot about
pine-scented perfume made from Fatbergs.
Yeah. They do it by, would they, like, cooking it down or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just gross.
Yeah.
And then you're going to put that on.
I got E. coli from my perfume.
Well, here's the fantastic report from News 9 in Australia.
Bianca, these balls are the talk of the town.
Jane, the mystery of the balls on the sand enters a new chapter. I just wanted to ask you, did you see any balls down there this morning?
No, we didn't see any balls. The water was nice.
Have you seen any balls on the beach this morning?
No, not yet.
You keep your eye and let me know if you see any balls, okay?
I will.
I personally haven't seen any balls out here on the beach.
So now there's a new mystery, the disappearing balls. Where have they all gone? Who knew?
Where have they gone?
I love Australia.
Bring them back.
I've got big balls! I've got big balls! They're such big balls! And they're crazy!
Oh, dirty, nasty, fatty.
Sounds like what they're talking about.
Ugh.
They did that on purpose.
They absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. I was about to say it if you didn't,
Yeah.
but yes, it was fun.
Have you seen any balls on the beach this morning?
But no, it's balls. How do you, I can't even say it the way they say.
Bianca, these balls are...
Balls?
Bianca, these balls are the talk of the town.
Jane, the mystery of the balls on...
Balls. The balls, Kelly. Star set on the Morning Blitz. That's Kelly Quinn. I'm Thick Rick. It is 8:22. And yesterday we did Normal or Nope. And we did a list of things that Tess, who does 7 to midnight here at the Blitz, she gave me this list of things she does that, you know, like you're a psychopath. But one thing that she does is she will set her phone up on the shower caddy while she's showering so she can watch television. You know, it's like, man, I'm not in the shower long enough to really care, but women will spend more time in there. I don't know. Whatever, if that's what she likes to do, but she's not going to like hearing this. Because a TikTok user named Andy shared a warning about the inside of her phone case from this, and it actually ended up being talked about on the WGN Morning News. That's Chicago, right? WGN? Yeah, WGN Chicago. So they were talking about it on the morning news.
Number 3, keep your iPhone out of the bathroom. In fact, keep all of your phones out of the bathroom. A woman named Andy shared her own PSA on TikTok.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
She opened her phone case to show the inside. It was covered with black mold. Here's why. Andy, like so many other people, likes to bring her phone in the shower to do some karaoke and listen to her favorite tunes. Like you and I.
Yeah.
But her case, which we believe is made of silicone, didn't take kindly to the moisture, which led to the mold. It's also a reminder to take your case off and clean your phone every once in a while.
I don't know why they got bleeped. When we sit there, I guess
Sounds like someone got hot real quick for a second. Maybe people don't remove their phone case. I do remove my phone case. I've got different phone cases that I'll use for different reasons. Like
really?
I have a phone case that has like a sort of a kind of a little wallet thing that's attached to the back by glue, so I don't have to bring a purse. I can just throw my credit card and my driver's license in there and take off. So I use that, but I don't use it for my everyday. Because I've got a phone case with a kickstand on it, which I love, but I take these off a lot, and I also clean around my phone edges and my phone cases. Like I clean that area.
Yeah.
So I am taking my phone case off quite a bit during the week, but I don't know if that's usual. I don't know if people do that or not.
Like every now and then I'll, find my wife Heather will be standing at the kitchen counter with both of our phones and the case covers off, and she's cleaning them up and everything and getting all inside there. And because they get nasty.
They do get nasty.
Same with my iPad cover and everything.
Yeah. So I could never see an out of control mold growth happening in my phone case.
Right.
Ever, but I can see just also putting your phone in a case and forgetting about it for 5 years. I get that.
Well, and that's what I was going to say. If for those of you who never take your phone out of your case, do that. I videotape it if you don't mind. I'd like to see how you freak out when you see all the gunk that's inside there.
Go back there. You'll find a $5 bill in there. Lost guitar picks.
Yeah, dead bugs. But it was like the one girl on the news there. She goes, "Well, that's on her," and it really is. She's like, but it was funny because as it went on, they kind of started making fun of this Andy girl, and I get it too, because I'm thinking, here's Andy. She called it a PSA, and I'm like, I'm going to protect my followers. I'm going to warn everybody. I'm going to save the world. Like nobody knew this. You know what I mean? So I just thought that was hilarious.
One thing I did do once, and this shows how gross maybe I am, is that I was cleaning out my mom's bathtub. And this has been, 6 months ago, and pulled up the bath mat?
Yeah, inside the tub, on the tub?
Yeah, in the tub. Yeah. Now, I will clean out the tub, but I just clean the top of the bath mat.
Oh.
Let me tell you about the mold that was under there.
Yeah.
It was so foul. I was like, well, because I don't use a bath mat at my house. Like, I've never used a bath mat, but it's a non-slip thing, and it was kind of necessary. So I put one in at my mom's, But yeah, I've never used one at my own home. So I pulled that bad boy up, learned me a tough lesson then. That was really foul. So I would say every other bath or shower at my mom's now, I will pull that thing up and wash it off so it doesn't get any mold growth on it. So you do have to learn certain things the hard way. And that was a lesson I learned in my, in my mature years of life.
Okay.
That mold does grow under a bath mat. And you might say, yeah, you moron. Of course it does.
It was funny. As soon as you started talking about it, Brandy texted in. She said, no, it's also nasty is the mat that people put on the shower.
Yes.
To use as a foot scrubber. It gets black mold underneath of it.
Yeah, it was a wild discovery. And I was like, why did I not think this was happening under here? But I didn't.
Now, Goose says I always bring my phone into the shower to listen to the Blitz, but my case is clear. There's no mold on it now, so he knows if it's got anything because he keeps using. That's probably a good idea to use a clear case.
Yeah.
But, everybody likes designs. Like Doug here, he says, I use a different phone case every day to match my underwear. Today, I'm not using a phone case. It's the Morning Blitz. That's Rush at 8:38. Kelly Quinn, Thick Rick. We'll have your Jet tickets. We have tickets to see Jet. We just announced the show yesterday. They'll be at Kimball Live Saturday, June 7th. Tickets are on sale Friday morning at 10. And we'll give those away here in just about a half an hour, right at the end of Kelly's 9 o'clock news. All right, time for Morning Blitz Trivia, brought to you by Tri-State Men's Health. And this one comes from Pat Ask Alla. I thought I'd get a funny look from you.
Huh?
I said this comes from Pat Ascala.
I never heard of that last name. Ascala.
Pataskala.
Oh, okay.
Pat Ascala.
Okay.
It didn't fly. That was bad. I know, that was bad.
Oh, wah, wah. I'm sorry. I was not tracking. Sorry about that.
It was bad. That's okay. All right. This says, my buddy has a girlfriend, and she has lunch every now and then with a guy she works with. They will go out to restaurants together, but it's just the two of them. My buddy doesn't like it. The guy's good looking, too. My buddy doesn't want to come off as insecure, but he hates that she goes out to lunch with this good-looking coworker. Is he being too sensitive, or is she being inconsiderate? Should you ever go out to lunch one-on-one with a coworker while you're in a relationship? That's Dave from Pataskala.
Okay, Dave, I feel like you're the buddy, so...
Right? Oh.
My buddy.
Oh, really?
My buddy says he's good looking. That's hilarious.
Are you saying? No, I don't think so.
Anyway,
he's the
Dave,
coworker? All right.
Dave, here's what I'm going to say to your friend. I am going to say that I understand how he feels. I try to put myself in that situation. If my husband was regularly going to lunch with a woman that he worked with out to restaurants and things, I don't think I would like it. And I think that's a human reaction. So I, in turn, would not do that to him. I wouldn't be regularly dining one-on-one with a male coworker. You and I talk on the phone, so I would say maybe it's comparable. Like, I'll call you and be like, hey, boy, I got to talk to you about something. Or whatever. Yeah. We talk on the phone.
Yeah, and Heather's usually saying hello to you in the background.
Right. I'm talking to you right in front of Charlie. So obviously there's, but I would say spending alone time with a coworker of the opposite sex, I guess, or of somebody, the sex you would be attracted to. I don't know. I guess you need to really think about how you would feel if the tables were turned, and then treat your significant other the same way. Because I'm thinking, I can't remember the last time I've been to lunch with a male coworker. Maybe never. When was it?
Oh, I don't know.
It's just not something I do. And it wouldn't be for any other reason other than I just don't have any reason to go to lunch with anybody from work. I don't know. It's not like I wouldn't go to lunch with someone from work, but I definitely wouldn't be spending time with a male coworker at lunch at a restaurant regularly. I do understand why your buddy would be uncomfortable with that. It feels like it borders on inappropriate, I guess. Maybe there's nothing going on at all, but it feels like something could be going on or could potentially be going on. Why do you need to spend that much time with one male coworker? That's, I would be wondering.
Yeah.
It's touchy because it's also work. So maybe they're on a team together and they need to discuss stuff. I don't know.
We'll do that at work.
Yeah, it feels like a more intimate
That's what you
setting.
do at work.
When you're at a restaurant, it is a more intimate setting. And it feels like you might be on the verge of crossing a line. Maybe I'm feeling too sensitive about it.
Well, I'll tell you what Dave, what your buddy could do. He could ask her if she minds if he goes out to lunch with some pretty girl from work. Doesn't have to be one that exists, actually, you know what he should do, Kelly? He should ask his girlfriend, talking about Dave's friend, ask his girlfriend, hey, can I go to lunch with you guys sometime? See what she says. See what she says. If there's nothing going on, she won't care. She'd be fine with it.
Why can't you just address it directly and say, you know what, maybe I'm being sensitive or whatever. Like you can, caveat the crap out of this conversation, but you can say it kind of bothers me that you guys go to lunch so regularly. Maybe I'm feeling a little insecure about it, or maybe, but it just feels like something I'm not that comfortable with. How do you feel about me saying that to you? Like you could have a conversation, an honest conversation about it, and maybe the boundaries need to be redrawn a little bit. And if that is a boundary of yours where you don't want your wife having regular luncheons at a restaurant with a male coworker, like figure that out now. This guy's just dating before you get married, because she may be like, hey, you know what? Screw you. I like this guy. We've been friends forever, and I don't care if it bothers you. I'm still doing it. That's a nice little test, I guess, of the relationship as to whether you guys can work together on boundaries that work for both of you.
All right. Well, let's see what you guys out there think. By the way, Trucker Matt said the way I said Pat ask Allah is exactly how all of the out-of-state customers say it. I'm glad you were kidding. It's funny. I don't know. I didn't think people would actually say it that way. All right, yeah, so 99-700, what do you think about Dave's buddy's girlfriend? Is this something you do in your life? Is that a problem for you and your relationship? Stone Temple Pilots on the Morning Blitz, 8:48. Before we get back to Blitz Therapy, and I guess I said Morning Blitz Trivia the first time. Meant to say Blitz Therapy. Sorry. Kelly, can you tell me exactly what that was and where I get that again?
Where you get what?
The blanket thing?
Where you get it? Well, you have to be a newborn. So, and being born at OSU Exeter Medical Center, they wrapped all these newborn babies in blankets that say "Born a Champion 2025" in these scarlet blankets. They're so cute.
So is that not going to go on all year?
Maybe. I don't know. Could be.
What if you're born in July?
I guess we're still champions in July, so I'll allow it.
Okay. That's great. All right. So Dave in Pataskala has a friend who has a girlfriend, and she has lunch every now and then with a guy she works with. They go out to restaurants together, but it's just the two of them. His buddy doesn't like it, but he doesn't want to get upset because he doesn't want to seem insecure.
Don't forget, the guy's good looking, too.
Yeah, the guy she's going to lunch with. I don't know, man. I don't trust it. I don't.
Yeah, I need your opinion on this because I'm really, really excited about giving my own opinion. So let me listen to your opinion on this.
Mine?
Yes.
Oh, I thought no, this is not okay. I guarantee you, if she is in love with Dave's friend, cares about him, she would not like it if he was doing this with a good-looking female coworker.
Yeah, think how you would feel if your spouse or significant other was doing the same thing, and then you treat your spouse the way you want to be treated. To me, it is about integrity, maintaining integrity, Like, also, you know how coworkers talk? What are they saying about you and your coworker friend always going out to lunch together? You know, maybe you're not doing anything, but literally you should make sure that, you know, I don't know. It is about respect, and people are texting that in. I completely agree.
Yeah.
It's not respectful to do that to your spouse.
Evelyn said to ask her if the male coworker is her work husband. Well, I don't know. Does that matter? Would that really matter?
I don't think it does matter. No.
Mike said, going out to lunch and dinner isn't the problem. It's whatever is on the dessert menu that creates the problem.
This person said, we've been together 32 years. There's an understanding we do not go anywhere alone with someone of the opposite sex out of respect. Yeah. And I agree with that. Yeah.
Cole from Marion, kind of along the same lines. He says going to lunch, dinner, etc. with the opposite sex is never okay when you're in a relationship unless talked or agreed upon. I would find it super disrespectful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not agree with that
I mean,
more.
It's not a free-for-all, people. If you're in a committed relationship, that's what it means.
Very true. Very true.
Now, unless you say you're in a free-for-all, you're not. Assume that you're not.
Yeah, Dave said that's a big not happening. Tony said, never ever would it be okay for my girlfriend to go to lunch with a male coworker on a regular basis.
Mike says if that dude is that insecure, then maybe he should step up his game at home. Okay, Mike.
Yeah, Monica says that's her work husband. That doesn't make it okay. You know, does that mean they have, you know, work husband and wife sex? You know?
Right.
I mean, that's not okay.
Yeah, so. Carrie says sounds like some trust issues in that relationship. I feel like, though, don't we all have trust issues if our trust, it feels like it's being violated?
Yeah,
it's something you need to talk about for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing. Dave never, Dave said his friend doesn't want to come off as insecure, but he hates it. So I'm guessing, has he never brought it up that it bothers him or that he's concerned about it?
Yeah.
Because if you never had a conversation about it, and it could be completely innocent. It really could. Maybe they're just like, yeah, we need to keep working on this project and talking about it. Let's just go have lunch while we do that. I can see that happening. Then that's not, so that's innocent.
I can in some kind of movie where things go sideways.
Well, that's, and that's...
why don't you order in and work at work? All right. If we're going to go to restaurants regularly, I don't know. It feels weird. It doesn't feel right.
We had multiple looks shouldn't matter. Text.
Yeah, and that's true.
Yeah, but it doesn't help.
But it was just funny that they specified it. That's why I brought it up. This person specified the guy was really good looking.
I love, Goose said, my grandma always said, don't do good things that look bad or bad things that look good.
That doesn't feel like it translates. Don't do good things that look bad. What does that mean?
It means even if it's innocent, you shouldn't be doing
it. Or a bad thing that looks good. Okay, yeah. All right. I think I got you, Goose. I think I got you.
Carrie said, I have female friends my wife knows and is okay with it, but I'll be damned if she's okay with me going to dinner with them alone, even though that she's okay with them being friends.
Yeah.
So
I have lots of dude friends. I'm not hanging out with them alone at restaurants.
Right. All right. Well.
And it's not like you can't be friends with the opposite sex. Obviously you can.
Yeah.
But,
of course.
You got to have some boundaries, folks.
I think they should have a conversation, Dave. That's my advice. Tell your buddy that he needs to have a conversation, because there could be stuff going on. Because that's the thing. If he asks her about it and she gets mad, or I still think ask if he can go sometime. Say, hey, can I go to lunch with you guys today? And see what she says. If she gets upset and becomes very defensive about it, then I think there's something going on.
Yeah.
So that's a real easy way to find out. If she says no, then you can go from there. And I don't know what to tell you, but if you would like to send us an email, you can email thickrick@theblitz.com. We do this every Wednesday, Blitz Therapy. It is brought to you by Tri-State Men's Health.
And now, all right, I'm listening. listening. 3 things you need to know before you go.
The annual point-in-time count on homeless residents in Franklin County is happening this week. Teams of volunteers, coordinated by the Community Shelter Board, will be out looking for people staying in tents, in cars, in abandoned buildings, and other areas tomorrow. The counts are held in the last 10 days of January across the nation and are a requirement to get support funding through the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. I guess they do count all the people in the shelters and in transition housing, and then they go out on a search in areas and look for people living in their cars, living in tents, living under bridges, living in abandoned buildings. So it's really interesting, and you have to do it if you want to get support funding for your homeless initiatives in your county. It'll be interesting. Last January, nearly 2,400 people were staying in shelters or on the streets in Franklin County. That was an all-time high. So we will get this year's numbers later this year. Dry vegetation, strong winds have elevated critical fire weather conditions across Southern California today, keeping the very fire-weary region on high alert. Parts of Los Angeles, Ventura, San Diego, San Bernardino, and Riverside counties are under a red flag warning, meaning an increased fire risk until tomorrow night due to low humidity and an expected uptick in Santa Ana winds. Now, California's next issue is heading there quickly. Authorities scrambling to protect the recently burned areas of Los Angeles County from mudslides, seeing as Southern California is facing a 60 to 80% chance of storms, which could drop about an inch of rain. So it's not good news in that area. Yep. Keeps getting worse, I guess, out there. The nominations are out for this year's Razzies, the awards that celebrate the worst in cinema. I don't know how I feel about this. People putting their heart and soul into their work and then getting nominated for being just crap. But, I don't know. I feel like it would make me feel really sad if somebody nominated me for a Razzie. But anyway, the Golden Raspberry Awards nominates the worst films and performance of the year. I bet it's a big topic at celeb functions. They're like, hey, have you ever been nominated for a Razzie? Because I got 5 nominations 5 years ago.
Well, it's funny because some people are nominated for Razzies and also nominated for Oscars.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That's a flex, I feel like.
Yeah.
I am the best and the worst of 2024.
Right.
Leading the pack of the Razzies nominations this year is Joker, Folie à Deux, with 7 nominations. The leads of the sequel supervillain origin story, Lady Gaga and Joaquin Phoenix, were also nominated. Joaquin Phoenix won the Oscar for playing the same role in the original film. So he goes from playing an Oscar winning role in the original Joker to getting nominated for a Razzie.
Okay, so same role but different movie.
Same role, different movies.
And he is he was the first to have an Oscar and a Razzie for the same role, so that would mean nobody's ever been nominated for the same movie for an Oscar and a Razzie for the same movie.
Okay, gotcha. Other films up for consideration for Razzies: Borderlands, Madam Web, Megalopolis, and Reagan, with 6 nominations each.
Oh, is Reagan not good? I've never seen it. I haven't really heard much.
It got 6 Razzie nominations, so maybe you can watch it and let us know what you think.
I don't know. I didn't know. I thought the trailer looks good, but trailers make everything look good.
Right. We will hear who the winners, so to speak, are on March the 1st.
I can't believe The Crow was not up for Worst Picture. Just based on, I haven't seen it, but just based on what everybody said about it, how terrible it was, I was kind of surprised at that. Well, and again, we've talked about this, the movie theater box office is down because people are making crap movies, and here's a whole bunch of them. I mean, we heard Madam Web before it even came out. Everybody said this is going to be the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
And the people who saw it said, it was the worst thing ever.
Okay.
Borderlands I didn't see. I thought that people liked the Dear Santa with Jack Black, but maybe that doesn't mean he was good in it, because he was nominated individually as worst actor.
Yeah, I feel like maybe it's a tough sell to put out a Satan movie for Christmas. Maybe that's a tough sell.
I mean,
I don't know.
I know it was a comedy,
right?
But I don't know. all these prequels and sequels, and there's a bunch more of those coming. Like all this year, another Captain America, another Accountant, another Mission Impossible, another Karate Kid. There was 28 days, then there was 28 weeks. Now we're up to 28 years later is the next one. There's a Megan 2.0 coming out, a whole reboot of Fantastic Four, a different Superman, another it's Freakier Friday is coming out. There's a new Naked Gun, only this one's with Liam Neeson.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, Saw 11? Do we really need Saw 11?
Why not?
At this point?
Why not?
Another Conjuring. There's a second Black Phone. The reboot of The Running Man.
Wait, I missed the first Black Phone.
I know.
What was that about?
A reboot of The Running Man. There's a sequel to Wicked. A second Zootopia. Another Avatar. A reboot of Anaconda. A second Happy Gilmore. I mean, it's all... sequels and prequels, because it's like, can anybody come up with something original? Like Severance. Severance was original.
Oh, do I love that TV show.
I gotta watch. I'm gonna have to watch the whole first season, Kelly.
Yeah.
Because I just can't remember. It's been 3 years.
And the little recap they do, it didn't help me with Squid Game. And if I had watched Severance 3 years ago like you did, I never would have been caught up from the little recap.
Yeah.
So, watch it over again. It's worth a rewatch, I bet.
Now, see, we got... I liked Borderlands. They got all these other texts, about... Not everybody always agrees with all the Razzies.
Yeah.
That happens.
Side note, too, really quickly, I have no one to talk about two things. Severance Season 2. All right? Nobody to talk with about it. I've been dying to talk, and nobody that I know who watches Severance has seen the first episode of the second season yet. So I'm here, not being able to talk about it to anybody, number one. Number two, and I'm not going to get into it, but I really want to discuss Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively, and I have nobody to talk to about that whole saga.
Why can't we talk about it?
Will you talk with me about it?
Yeah.
Oh, do you know it pretty well enough to discuss details with me?
I mean, I've just what I've read about it.
Oh, that's all I know. We weren't there, were we? Okay, good. Well, we can do that off the air. I'm sure we.
I thought you wanted to do it on the air.
We could do it on the air.
I mean, it's a lot of drama.
It's a ton of the tastiest drama you have ever seen, and it looks like a mean girl getting her comeuppance at the moment.
Yes.
Oh.
Didn't know she was yeah. And it's funny the things you find out about Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, and how there's a lot of people don't care for either one of them.
Yeah,
they're not very popular.
Like Martha Stewart.
I mean, it's like, what the heck? And again, this goes back to these, behind the scenes, what's really going on, because these people present this front, whether it's celebrities in Hollywood. We heard about it from Brooks and Dunn with the country music artists, how they all secretly hate each other, and they all want to be the number one country artists, and they hate their success. And so,
well, it's a big topic. Maybe we can talk. We can tackle it at some point.
Yeah.
But oh golly, I can't wait.